There are many different types of figurative language that you can use to add that extra little kick to your writing. Using figurative language will make your writing stand out to your audience. Two forms of figurative language you can use to spice up your writing are alliteration and assonance. Alliteration and assonance are two forms of figurative language that writers use to make a sound or action stand out. Using alliteration or assonance will bring emphasis to what you are writing and add vivid imagery for your audience to enjoy. The repetition of sounds is very natural, and therefore a very easy technique to use in your writing. Alliteration and assonance are very similar literary devices, but there is one important factor that makes them different. First, we will define alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds, normally at the beginning of successive words. Did you know you've heard alliteration before? Most of you have probably heard alliteration and did not know you were hearing it. Have you ever heard the tongue twister, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers? Or, she sells seashells by the seashore? Both of these are using alliteration because they are repeating the consonant sounds P and S. When using alliteration in your writing, you don't need to make every word begin with the same consonant letter unless you want your sentences to be tongue twisters. Usually poets or writers keep it simple, using alliteration or assonance in 2 or 3 successive words. Let's look at some examples of alliteration. The boys are busy bouncing basketballs. Here, the repetition is of the B sound. His sword sliced silently through the air. This sentence has the repeating S sound. Pretty easy so far, right? Let's take a look at a few more examples just to make sure you've really got it. The kangaroo kicked the kid. The repetition here is with the K sound. Sometimes you can hear the hush sounds of hummingbird wings. Here the repetition is the H sound. You should get the dishes done after dinner. This sentence is repeating the D sound. As long as you have 2 or more words in a sentence that begin with the same consonant sound, you've got alliteration. It's as simple as that. Now let's talk about assonance. It's just a little different, so make sure you're all ears so you don't get them mixed up. The definition of assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds, usually at the beginning of successive words. See the difference? Assonance is all about vowel sounds, and alliteration is all about consonant sounds. Here are some examples of assonance. Some people order old furniture from antique stores. This sentence has the repeating O sound. Amy actually arrived on time. This sentence has the repeating A sound. See, it's not hard at all. Let's do a few more examples. In the summer, ice cream is incredibly irresistible. This sentence has the repeating I sound. The members of clubs wear unique uniforms. This sentence has the repeating U sound. Assonance is really easy. As long as you have 2 or more words in a sentence that begin with the same vowel sound, you've got assonance. There are numerous forms of figurative language, and alliteration and assonance are just 2 of the ways you can include figurative language in your writing. Just remember what makes them different. Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds, and assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds. When you're writing essays, poems, or short stories, try to use alliteration or assonance because it will help bring attention to what you are writing as well as make it interesting for your readers.